recommend doing is get OBS Studio, which is right here. And what you're going to want to do is you go to, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to display my, I can't, you don't want to display your Streamkey publicly. Bristol does eat SR. Ryan's just that good, man. Like, honestly, like, he drove a really good race. And I've raced with him a bunch. He's a good driver. So, Twitch, Streamkey. My biggest advice, first off, is learn how to use Google. So, if you need something like, so for example, the first thing that you need to get set up with OBS is in your, go to File, Settings, and this pulls up, and you need to get things set. Language, English, theme, default, automatically chat on startup. I basically leave all this stuff at default, if I remember correctly. Your stream key here. Now, I can't change it here, but this one right here on the stream type, select streaming services, service Twitch, and then server is auto for recommended, and then you paste your stream key in here. And the way that I find my stream key, and the way that anyone who does computer programming the way that I do will tell you that Google is always your best friend. So what I do is I just punch Twitch stream key into Google, because that's what I need. In OBS, I need a stream key for Twitch, so I punch Twitch stream key into Google. And then the first link is broadcast software, Twitch. Follow that. Looking for your stream key, you can find it in your dashboard. Click Dashboard. And it takes you to Dashboard, Settings, Stream Key. It will not show this by default. You need to click this Show Key button. It will display it. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't want everyone watching this video to see my stream key. But you click Show Key. You will then select that, copy it, and paste it here in, again, it's File, Settings, select Stream, and then go to and paste your stream key right into this field. Output, video bitrate, all this stuff I think I basically just leave it default. Output mode, simple. Audio. Make sure that you've got things set particularly for your mic. Don't set this to default. Set this to the whatever mic input you want, because when you're using a webcam, that's got a mic. Your computer might have a mic. I want my headset mic there. It sounds a lot better. I'll demonstrate the difference in audio by switching that in a second. But you want to make sure that your mic's set correctly. And then I don't use push to talk because I'm talking the whole time through the stream. But you have those options if you want. Video. Make sure you've got your base canvas resolution set to 1920 by 1080 and keep the aspect ratio there. I've got this set to 1280 by 720. I think that that's good enough. I might bump that up at some point, but yeah, that's just to keep it smooth. I might bump that up to 1920 by 1080 to try to do it. Keep your FPS at 60. That's good for everyone. And the downscale filter by Cubic, I recommend that. This is just to keep your things so that they run smooth. Hotkeys, I have not done anything with this, but you've got all of these options. I don't even use those. I just pull up OBS and click Start Streaming, and then at the end I click Stop Streaming. The hotkeys, and this is all for more advanced things, and you can hot switch between different scenes and views and stuff like that. I don't do all that. But there are, some people do that. And then advanced settings, I don't think I change anything in here either. Okay, cancel that because I don't want to save any of the changes. So what I do is when I pull things up, let's see, what's the next piece that I want to cover? Oh, so adding your different sources. So I've got my iRacing scene here, and in this I have a display capture which captures the whole background. That is lowest in priority. Then I have the game capture for iRacing. So iRacing is going to overlay, all of these are different layers. So game capture is, or the display capture is the furthest one back. And then my game capture is going to overlay in front of the game capture, or in the front of the display capture. Then I have the credits, which you guys see me roll at the end of the stream. That overlays in front of the game capture. Then I have my video capture device. That's my webcam. That overlays in front of credits and everything else. So when the credits are scrolling, my webcam's still on there. Then I have Batbot, Bet Leaderboard, and Chat. Those are all out of Q2 apps. And then the Q2 overlay is just the general server information. So that includes the standings, the fuel info, the relative scoring, things like that. The tip jar, this comes from Streamlabs. The follow alert is set up from, I forget what the source is, but that's actually a different source. Same with the sub alert. Streamlabs alerts, I use Streamlabs alerts for things like hosts, raids, donations, and bit cheers. And that's my top level. So like all of those things, you can see how when I click through them, there's a little red box that shows where they're positioned. Sub alert's actually smaller than the follow alert. That should probably be reversed. But the reason that I do that as well is sub alert comes in with a sound effect, follow alert doesn't. So I need the follow alert to be big enough that it'll catch out of the corner of my eye and I'll see it coming across the screen, whereas the sub alert does the R2D2 sound effect and does all of that. So now I want to walk you through how you set up these different things. So, the first thing that I like having in the background is the display capture. So let me add a new scene, and we're just going to call this scene 2, okay? And that's what we're looking at right there, right now. Now, I need to add a source. So the first thing we want is just the display capture. Create new display capture 2. Okay, boom. And now we've got that back. 1920 by 1080. Okay, cool. Now we need to add a source for the, what do we need? Video capture device. Video capture device 2, okay. Uses the Logitech Webcam Pro, Logitech HD Pro Webcam C920. That's the only one I've got. There you go. Everything, all these things can be set correctly. Boom. And then what we need to do with that actually is we need to edit that somehow, because it's not showing. Okay. So why is it not showing? I don't know why that's not showing at all. That's really interesting. Okay, so let me go back over to iRacing, and we can just see that the video capture device, all those settings are correct. So if I go back over to scene 2, oh, configure video. There we go. So, advanced settings, device info. Doesn't seem to be. Because I didn't have to change anything with that, but it's not. For some reason, it's not actually. So I actually don't know why that is not working correctly. Let me remove that. anyway, that goes into that. So anyway, looking back over here, I really don't know why. It's not doing it. I think it's because it's not sized correctly. So let me see if I can remove. So scene 2. If I add the video capture device again, I can just add existing and it's right there. So there's that. But if I want to add a new one, the problem is that it's, for some reason, it's let me see. It's not showing the box. It's like it's set to 0. Anyway. So that's why my face is gone, is because the video capture device, for whatever reason, isn't working. So you might have to play with that to get that working right. But the reason that it keeps switching is I keep going to scene 2, scene 1. So you can set up multiple scenes, and then you can hot switch between different scenes as well. So that's another thing. So anyway, moving on with this, you're going to want to set up, and where is it? So Night Dev. That's where I got my follower alerts and stream alerts. So you go to nightdev.com, projects, Nightbot, I think, is the one that you need for Twitch. Maybe not. So you can do, yeah, this is where you can do. So you can click follow alert, nightdev.com/follow alert. You would click install, and then, which I've already got. So we use Dropbox to store your uploads. You log in with Dropbox. I think that I'm already logged in. If not, whatever. But if you close this out. So you just follow through the steps on nightdev.com, and you can set up your follow alert and your sub alert there. Once you get through all of that, you're going to go in, and it's going to end up giving you a URL. So you add a browser source element and then paste the URL that they give you into that. Set the width and the height to what you want, FPS 30, that's fine. And then you can you get this CSS for that. So that's for the follow alert and the sub alert. And you can also set up a sound effect, and the tutorials on their site will walk you through how to do that. What do I have for internet? I have Charter Spectrum, and I have like whatever the most expensive one is, so the fastest internet to do that. Streamlabs is the other thing. So if I hide OBS for a second, I've shown you how to add browser source stuff, but Streamlabs is really easy to connect to your account. This is all of my information. It tracks the bit cheers and things like that, so I can see Preben and Gasso cheered with bits. I can see Sir Threepwood followed, so thank you much for the follow. I can also see Mr. Sonderbor's Twitch Prime sub that happened during that stream, and Fabrice VS and Def01360. So when I go through and thank people before I had the credits, this was how I knew to do that. And then you go in and you set up things. So like, for example, the tip jar, I've got it enabled to do all of these different events. I selected this one, and then it gives you a widget URL. So you can just click copy and do the same thing. You set up a browser source, name it what you want, and you put that in. You can do the same thing for setting up. They have everything. So they've got all kinds of events and they've got their own alert box. I have my alert box set to not do follows and subscriptions because those are set up through NightDev, but I have them set for donations, hosts, and bits and raids and all that stuff. And there are a number of different options that you can do with that. You can have the zombie and do the default, whatever. So that's Streamlabs. If you're signed into Twitch, you go to Streamlabs and click login with Twitch, and you'll be able to log in. So once you do those, you set up all that. Then the next thing is Q2. So go to, again, Google, and just type in Q2 apps. Click the first one, Q2's apps, irapps.q2.ru. Download, and you get the whole package when you download. I just create then a folder on my desktop that has the Q2 apps package. So then you open that up. Batbot, you need to go into the Batbot INI and set some configuration settings. And there are instructions on Q2's site to do that. But basically, the big thing is you can change like start amount and restart amount. One of the big things, change official only to 0. I didn't have that before, so you want to have that set to do that, and then you have to set your channel to the channel that you want. But yeah, official only to 0. If you official only to 0 if you want your viewers to be able to bet on hosted races is the main thing there. Chat and server. There's also Better TP, which is supposedly an improved trading paints. I don't use that, but that's another thing that's part of it. Server. So once you've got those set up, Q2's site has all kinds of tutorials on that, but once you have those set up, if we go back to the site, again, it's going to be the same thing. Is you're going to set up all of this, and then you set a browser source that points to this browser URL, and you just do it. So if you see on the Q2, you just need to follow these instructions exactly as they're listed to set and configure different browser sourced overlays. You want to know how fast my internet is, so if I just go to internet speed test, I have, 120? It's going to test down, 127.4 down, and now it's testing up speed. So it looks like I'm 127 down and about 10 up. So that is what my internet speed is, very fast. So that's what I have for internet speed. And that's it. And with that speed, it seems to work pretty well for all that. So I think that I answered the basics on things. If anyone has questions about that, this is going to go on YouTube, and then if anyone has questions, post in the 24 down or 24 up, Caden. Post in the comments questions that you have, and I will try my best to answer those. But this really will go up. This will be on YouTube, or if you're watching this right now, you probably are on YouTube. That is not a very good streaming tutorial, and especially since it had the nonsense with the webcam in the middle of it, but yeah. Okay, cool.